Hey guys, welcome to Fan Workshop Vlog 2023. This is going to be a compilation of many clips that I'm going to record over the course of probably a good portion of the summer, and I'll compile it into a nice big vlog. Now, the reason for this video is, well, my workshop currently is in a complete state of disorder. I'm actually having trouble walking from the door to my desk because the floor is so cluttered. So in this vlog I'm going to both clean up and rework this workshop because I think it's long overdue, and I'm going to try to film a lot of the process and compile it into this vlog. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, well, I think it would be a wise decision to clean the workshop before I begin the reworking phase. And the first thing I need to take care of quite desperately is this colossal mountain of boxes. Oh boy. Oh, look. Subscribe. This is just towering over me. It's actually blocking the doorway. So this needs to go. This is mostly just stuff that I bought for the workshop, for the reworking process. So a lot of the stuff that was in here will be seen soon in this vlog. But these boxes need to go. So I'm going to get these torn up or folded down flat so they can be recycled. That's much better. Alright, so the next task here is to put up this mini ceiling fan in the workshop. So I got some hardware, ladder here. So I thought about where I should put it, and I first thought about this portion of the ceiling, but the problem I ran into was if I were to hang it from the ceiling here, I would need a hook screw like this. The problem though is that this screws in clockwise, and the fan also spins clockwise, meaning the torque from the fan would eventually unscrew this little hook screw. So that's no good. So what I'm going to do instead is hang it from this side of the wall. I'll put a screw and an anchor through the drywall this way and have the fan hanging from that, so that way there's no risk of the fan falling due to the screw coming undone. So let's get that done. It's up and ready for service. Let's go and power it up. I'm going to use the remote. Nice. Try the different speeds. Perfect. There's the cable management situation. It's not too bad. You can't really see it when you're standing on this side of the room. Alright, another project done. More to come. Alright guys, new day, new project in the rework phase. I'm going to be putting up a brand new shelving unit in this corner of the workshop. Now as you can see, currently this area is just full of boxes and fans, and they're just kind of piled up on here, and it's not really an efficient way to store things, if you want to even call it that. So I got myself a new shelf, the same one as I've had for a couple of years here, the Seville Classics 6-tier. Oh gosh, I'm stepping on tape on the floor. A 6-tier chrome wire shelf. And in order to get that in here, I'm going to have to clear this space out. So that's going to be our first task. Let's get these following fans out of here. These first. Coming through. Wow, I haven't seen this corner this empty in a couple of years, I think. Maybe even since we moved in. Jeez. Alright, let's bring in the new shelf. I'm excited. We're on our way to get the new shelf. And here it is. Same thing. That's the one I've had in the past couple of years. So we'll get this unboxed and we'll bring it in. Well, here it is. You guys have seen it a couple times already in the past moving vlogs and stuff like that, but same thing. So I'm going to bring this inside just to make sure all the parts are here first, and we'll assemble this thing. Okay, so I got some parts in here. Not everything yet because there's not enough room to just unload everything here, but I've got the first layer, all the feet that are needed, or the poles I guess. And for these ones, what I want to do is just keep the feet instead of the casters, because I found that I never really needed to have the wheels on there in the first place, and it turns out the wheels drastically reduce the capacity of these shelves. So without the wheels on feet, these things can hold like 4,000 pounds total, but with the feet, that drops down to like 800 pounds for the entire thing. So for the sake of stability and just, you know, feeling assured that this won't collapse, I'm just going to put the feet on here. So that's the one that comes with it, just metal leveling feet. So we'll leave that on there, and we'll build a shelf. First layer is going to go on first, of course, and then that didn't make any sense. Of course, first layer is going to be first. First layer is going to go on the bottom, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so the first layer is up. It's kind of an unconventional setup because what I want to do is leave the bottom row completely empty and not put a shelf on it, because that way I can roll some dollies that are carrying some heavy loads, such as Hunter Original ceiling fans. So I didn't want to put a shelf layer at the very bottom. So we're going to make our way to the top. I'm going to put the new extension poles on there and get the next layer on. Next layer is up. And this should be enough for some boxed ceiling fans. And last but not least, the top row is up. So the plan for this row is to put some probably portable fans up top for display, and from this shelf and down I'm going to hang some ceiling fan motors for storage, and on this row I'm going to place some ceiling fan blades. This one's for boxed ceiling fans like I said, and this one's going to be for heavier fans that are on dollies. Now the cool thing is I have 3 layers, the shelf layers left over. So what I might do is order just the poles separately so I can make a brand new separate shelf unit that I can replace this one with. So that might be happening in the next coming weeks, so that's another project planned. But meanwhile, I'm going to get this shelf populated. Okay, back at it again in this rework phase of the workshop. Today we've got a simple but tedious task ahead of us. I'm going to take these casters off of the shelves and replace them with the stationary feet, which is simple on paper, but I have to unload this entire shelf in order to accomplish that. So I don't know if I'm going to film much of this because it's going to be just me just unloading the shelves, putting the feet on and loading them back up again, but I'll see what happens. So I'll catch you guys up in just a bit. Well, I just pulled out the shelf a little bit to vacuum out the space before I put it back. I haven't seen this corner blank in a couple of years, so that's kind of an interesting look at this corner here. Are there any 8-legged friends just chilling around here? Ooh, look at that. They've vandalized this place a little bit, but I don't see any live guests around here. Alright, let me go and vacuum this corner up, and then we'll proceed. Alright, one shelf is complete. On to the next. Okay, so the new shelf poles are here, so now we're going to put up the chrome shelf on this side of the room, and I'll remove this plastic shelf. It's up. Finally, that took way longer than it should have, but there it is. Whew. Alright, so on today's agenda we've got some ceiling fan work to do. I'm going to pack up this Holden and put it in storage. This is long overdue. This fan has been in this state, just sitting on top of the box for a couple of years, I think, and it really should be back in the box so it's safer in there. And yeah, so I'm sure there's a lot of cobwebs hanging around from it. So we're gonna do that, and also we need to manage these two boxes. The Southern Breeze is technically not my fan, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. I might put the box somewhere in the storage rooms, but the Kitchener Pinion does need to go back into the workshop. This has been here since 2020, I think. In fact, it's never even entered my workshop. So yeah, we're going to do something about that. Alright, start with the Holden. Let's see. Should we stack it or just put it on the shelf? I think we stack it. That fits pretty nicely. Alright, so here's the top shelf fully populated. That's pretty good. I just put some ceiling fans and some boxes and some homemade fans up here just to clear up some space on my other shelves and off the floor.